Dear Earthmates, um, my young Earthmate from India, from and in India, Suchismita, Ghoshal, and I, Tarık Günersel, are happy to host you and to visit you at the same time. Um, and this will be the first um, conversation that will be placed on YouTube, apart from the ones on our planet Earth. Maybe we should also include that. Dear Suchismita, what would you like to say about yourself? How would you like to introduce yourself to our viewers?
First of all, namaste. Thank you so much for again arranging this wonderful series, which I always look forward to, and of conversation and other things. So, yes, um, with the thought of spreading love, positivity, here I come. I come from West Bengal, India, um, and I am what I can say about myself is that I look forward to doing something good, something which can actually impact um, the lives of where I live, to the neighbors, societies. I don't um, I don't want to impart this thing on global levels or something because I don't think I have gained that place yet. But all I can say that my primary intention is to um, focus on something that can actually impact our lives, and not only being in our head but also that should come in our heart, and we can actually uh, come from our pure place of heart where we can do something for the society, anything. So this is me, and I feel extremely grateful to join in this series of conversation, which is very free flowing and gives us a place to actually share our thoughts and not being very strict or strenuous with the facts and with the documents or anything. It's not very formal and official, but it's more like a conversational place. And yes, I feel good and great to be here.
I'm also very happy uh, to be here with you. Two different generations, a youngster and an elderly person, and from two different and rich culturally geographies. Um, and uh, to our viewers, I was born in Istanbul, Turkey, and now I'm on the Mediterranean coast with my wife Füsun, in a more relaxed and quiet place of the city. And at age almost 72, I'm finally able to embrace myself, my personality, um, after decades of inner struggles. And so um, today's topic, this month's topic for us is solidarity. We had talked about this in our Earthmates Cafe before with our friends who constitute the Earth Civilization or Civilization Network, which I initiated in 2013. And our viewers might enjoy visiting our website, www.earthcivilization.net. Having mentioned that, now we can start exchanging uh, opinions, thoughts, and anecdotes on solidarity. Um, what would you like to say? What does the word solidarity mean to you?
What I can see, the polarization of one thought or one idea is getting more more attention in this generation, no matter whatever the place is. And also the the waves of globalization has reached. We are also at the age of where digitalization is at peak, and it can um, become a boon for us, or maybe it can also destroy us. So this is the age where, like, there is no balance, either up, downs, high highs, low lows. um, this is how we are going. I think there should be a middle point where everything is welcomed and coexisting. And we are neither going too extremes, neither going too lows, anything, but a point where we can feel the connectedness with each one and just coexist with mutual respect and other things. So that's why the word solidarity is very important, which actually can make us learn to respect some other cultures, other ideas, and um, like, there should be a bi-directional way where they can also, when we are doing that, others should also just do the same thing and coexist. Solidarity is also important to build compassion. I mean, like, if we are not compassionate enough from our heart, if we are not um, being sensitive enough towards feeling others' pains, uh, happiness. I won't only focus on pain, but happiness and other things, and just very um, mechanical in our ways while expressing, then we cannot become, like, united. I think it's very important to come for conversations, more of these conversations and other things, so that people can actually share their feelings without without backlashing someone, or maybe just totally going down with someone. But we should we should be more empathetically, like, heightened. Otherwise it becomes so um it becomes like a fairy tale idea that we are following solidarity, and then we are not actually what I said, that if we just stay in our head and ideas and gather knowledge and other things, and if we just don't put into action, then there is no idea, there is no use of any idea or philosophy that we are following, trying to follow or something. Solidarity is exactly the same way, where we are coming to the middle point, coexisting with each other, respecting each other's cultures and values, and also voicing against all the wrong things, and feeling the same way, uh, feeling humanly things in the same way others are also feeling, not being indifferent to others' pains and other problems. This is how see solidarity in this generation, where uh, the modernization is at peak.
Thank you so much. Um, um, Two things. There are three little things I'd like to mention. Uh, One of them is the word solidarity nicely includes the word solid.
Solid.
Yes. So solidarity has got to be something solid. Uh, and mental solidarity is also important. Probably our mental waves also send some signals which might be helpful. But that's an interesting topic in itself. Yes. Another thing is some 12 years ago, I needed to make up a word. Um, and I and the word is philactosopher. Um,
Philactosopher.
yes, philosopher was not enough, is not enough for me. And you have just mentioned it. philactosopher,
Mm.
um, someone
Very important.
who tries to act with uh, love or
With
wisdom.
the ideas he has presented,
Yes,
actually.
but so philactosopher. So instead of an activist philosopher, we can say philactosopher.
Philactosopher. It's a wonderful nomenclature.
Thank you.
And I like the idea behind this word
Thank you.
because with our head only we cannot just tell that this is how we want to change, this is how we want to do. Either we are not putting in the action. I mean, it should come come down from here to the external world, also in ourselves. So when it is there stuck, then it's no of I don't think it's of any use in this generation, at least, because people are more or less they become rebel kind of thing
Mhm.
in any small words or anything that just trigger them, because we are a very triggered generation, I feel. Very triggered generation. We can get triggered with little things, but which should actually, you know, catch our attention, we miss them.
Mhm.
But we can react very reactive, not responsive at all, and have less patience, less whenever we are having, lack of patience, we are not coming into that point of solidarity because it doesn't come easily. And it's just not overnight work that, okay, I read about solidarity and tomorrow, from tomorrow morning, I am very much like, okay, I'm following solidarity. It doesn't happen in that way. It's like how we can put into the practice, like philactosopher thing you said. So how we can put into the practice of solidarity, it becomes very essential. Also, the stage we are living in, where political leaders, other any big leaders and anyone, they are just trying to become more authoritarian, more autocratic, and trying to push us to a stage where we become triggered and we react. So in this stage, how we can also just make a situation where we can actually uh, put more focus on becoming more empathetic, more compassionate, and again come into the stage of middle point and coexisting with solidarity. So it's high level of I see a high level of dissociation with the ideas we are having and the work we are doing.
Yes. And
So
yes, and the the word philosopher actually used to have what I mean philactosopher, but unfortunately the word lost that
essence.
meaning, that essence.
Mm.
Uh,
Yes.
and I two among two philactosophers, when among when we look at history, uh, some of the philactosophers, um, I think Bertrand Russell, Jean-Paul
Mm.
Sartre, and
Mm.
Diogenes, Socrates, uh,
Socrates,
yes,
yes.
and several others. Um, Another thing is um, solidarity um, is not only among, of course, humans, but also other animals, and more importantly, or interestingly, even plants. Um, we know now that trees, through their roots, they
Are all
exchange,
interconnected.
yes, they exchange some information,
Signals,
and
yes.
that's very interesting. And um, uh, what's the bats? Yes, bats. The animals, uh, they they go out at night and they search. for blood they need, and they come back. And um, if one of them has not had um, food, then
Hmm.
someone who has had sufficient food
Hmm.
is expected to pass some blood to the other bat. Now,
Oh,
if,
wow.
yes, that's solidarity. And what's also interesting is that if a bat refuses to share the blood, then the next time that bat, if hungry, the others punish that bat.
Ah,
Remain-
like they won't help him then.
That's right. It's punishment.
Mm,
So
exactly.
it's an ethical thing, and I think
Wonderful.
ethics. There are books about that. You know,
Ethics, yes.
about the biological basis uh,
Biological
of
basis,
ethics,
yes.
and um, and um, when we look at human history, um, uh, when we ask how come Neanderthals uh, uh, left the world stage, and how come Homo sapiens sapiens, our
Yes.
subspecies, prevailed? This what very interesting thing is Neanderthals, they usually lived in relatively small groups, around 20, 25 people.
Yes.
But Homo sapiens um, lived in groups of 150 people, 150 people. So the more people together, the more interaction and variety is possible. So the life experience becomes richer,
Becomes richer, broader.
broader.
Also, yes. There should be there is also a high chance of having like shared values, shared actions,
Yes.
things. Ah, yes, exactly. Coexistence. I love this thing. Like it has been in our biological nature too.
Yes.
And nature is the biggest learning stage. Nature itself is the biggest learning stage. I don't know how people look at nature these days. Also, they talk a lot about nature, but I don't know how they are exactly learning from nature. Every material, everything in nature is so rich with lessons that if we only just focus 10 minutes being in the nature, not we don't have to always go to like beside the seas or always have to go to the mountains or forest, but even in a park which is green and something like literally enriched with green, I have seen things how beautiful all those trees like in the park, how beautifully all those trees just are, like not with their roots, but also when they're high and they're meeting somewhere. Like so many trees are there, and it also created an umbrella kind of thing for us too. I mean, and also if we just look at the birds and other things, how one bird start to call in their own way and other also responds, and how it becomes a um, series of birds calling themselves, chopping, and how they communicate. It's very, very interesting. Like 10 minutes of just only observation in nature actually gives us so much of peace, so much of understanding about how life and cycles, other things are working. But we don't have time, and we don't actually are not even willing to put 10 or 15 minutes a day to truly learn something from nature. But we also call, oh, we love about this nature and this and that. But if we just ask, what did you notice today? Or if you have noticed something in any of your um, days where you spent more time in nature, what actually it inspired you? What things inspired you? What did you learn? It can be anything small, anything big, but it matters how we are observing things.
True.
And are we exactly observing, like, or just trying to act? I mean, it is becoming, what's the problem, sir? It's becoming more about words these days. More words, uh, more being in head, but not actually following anything in action. Even if we are doing, it's all about being about like barriers of words, and it's surfacing like words. We should actually start to um, implement few things, nothing in our, even in our daily lives, that small things actually make the changes, so that we can actually practice that, and it becomes a consistent way of practicing. And now that you mentioned how Neanderthals just spread among all the places of world, and also Homo sapiens came, how they used to group up, how they used to have different group of species, so that they can actually have a what to say, like multi, I mean, um, diverse, diverse qualities of different species, how they used to have that. It actually proves how we are as human beings. Even if we just are focusing on us human beings, how we are actually made to be like this, and actually grow together, and not just being restricted to one thing, because we don't think, at least humans cannot survive alone.
That's right. And that's one of the key points. And um, uh, w- what's the difference between collaboration and solidarity? When I asked myself this question before we met, well, collaboration, when we do
Mm.
something together, that is. Solidarity usually implies some sort of need. In a needy situation, solidarity comes in. And when we
Mm.
talked about this topic, our Pakistani earthmate, Tahir Abdullah, I
Mm.
think she mentioned the trade union in Poland, Solidarity, led
Mm.
by Lech Walesa. Yes, and in our lives, we have seen against autocracies, for example, there are um, um, peaceful protests. There have been in history, and today there are in Turkey and Serbia and elsewhere in uh, against the massacres in various parts in Gaza, elsewhere, and there are protests, peaceful solidarity um, um, gestures, and um,
Mm.
um, and sometimes, for example, let's take PEN International. It's the oldest um, active human rights organization um,
Mm.
of writers all over the world. And
Pain internationally, yes.
yes, and the 15th of November is uh, the Writers in Prison Day. So we select, we try to help writers in prison in various parts of the world.
Mm.
We
Wonderful.
and we send postcards to writers, journalists in prison, and those postcards mean a lot to the person in prison.
Mm.
Yeah, there are a number of ways of expressing solidarity, and
True.
and s- uh, sometimes we may not be able to do anything else, but at least a signature, a message helps a lot. Um, yes, and can we talk about the solidarity of atoms?
Atoms. Okay. Seems like a very um, tangibly intangible subject. Atoms and their
No.
solidarity.
Well,
But yeah, it's very inspiring. If we just follow more of physics, very inspiring.
well,
Very, very inspiring.
animists think so, I think, right? Life is everywhere,
Yeah,
matter is alive, etc. So an animist,
exact.
an animist would probably say yes. I'm not an animist, and I still prefer to have uh, um, as a research area some difference between thinking matter,
Mhm.
such as
Mhm.
brain, and non-thinking matter, etc. But it's always uh, good to have an open eye, an ear, and yes. Um, uh, is there an example you would like to give um, when you think about your life, when you needed help, um, and who expressed solidarity with you? Of course, apart from family members, let's say.
Yes, my friends, a few of my friends, because I think there again, we shared values, we shared emotions, we shared our day's actions. That actually makes a point where they like where they feel at some point that it is also their um kind of duty, not duty, but coming from their heart that they should be with me in my times, tough times, struggling times.
Mhm,
So my a few of my friends have actually helped me
mhm,
truly,
mhm,
shared their mm, comfort and just told me like you can lean on me, and if you need any help, any this kinds of comments. And I really love that idea that um, we can actually build values and respect each other and also be a part of someone's life when they're in need, also when they're happy. If we just come for more shared experiences and other things, this is how we can also inspire others to at least look at their neighbors, look at their friends, look at their families who are in help, and just build more of a like empathetic um, ground where they can become solidified and together united. So yes, it's very important. And I also want to say that it inspired me when you said there is a big difference between collaboration and solidarity. Collaboration can happen at any time if we choose to collaborate. That also spreads shared values. But solidarity is a need of the time. It's actually a requirement,
yes.
because the way I said, like we are become polarized and extreme, very much like restricted and very much extreme conventionalists. So it's very needed this time. And with the help of digitalization, AI and other things, things are just within the reach of our hands within seconds. So did you see the thing that the Ghibli art that people were doing few
Pardon?
days? Ghibli art from Japan, a different art form. There are many Ghibli cartoon kind of movies.
Oh, okay. Now, I would
Yeah.
like to learn about that. But excuse me, our time is, we only have 2 more minutes,
Oh.
unfortunately. Yeah. Um, now, the human, animal, or other animal solidarity.
Hmm.
An example, a classic example is dog human
Hmm.
friendship. and solidarity is important. And um, there are uh, infinite ways and situations. A difficult moment in life is when you're angry with somebody, when we are angry with somebody, yet,
Hmm.
yet at the same time, ethically, that person needs help. We need to show solidarity despite the negativity of our relationship. So
Yeah.
not an easy thing to do, but
No.
it's it's easier to be in solidarity with people with whom
Yeah,
as
I
you
think
share
solidarity, yes, absolutely. Solidarity also requires at some point that we are emotionally enough intelligent. We should be that. I mean, not only with IQ, but with our EQ.
yes,
If like emotional quotient should be higher so that we can actually understand and not just become like, oh yes, I don't share like the same values with him, so why should I help him? Not that thing, but when someone needs help, we should keep our personal experiences and bitterness outside of the circle and just be in that time. We should help that person or be in solidarity with him.
true.
That is actually emotional intelligence.
True. Thank you so much. And uh, will our next topic will be love next month.
Yes,
I'm so happy to have had this chance with you. Thank you so much, dear.
absolutely, absolutely. Time just passed away.
Dear viewers, what are your thoughts about solidarity?
Mhm.
Best wishes. You can write comments.
Exactly.
Yes, and
Feedbacks are always welcome.
yes,
Any thoughts?